So, it's been a while since the last video, hasn't it? 2 months to be exact, and the reason for this is mainly due to background shenanigans that I won't go too far into, but let it be known that
I'm back, baby.
welcome to Series Bootcamp, the show where the concept of balance goes to die an early grave. This week, we're going to be doing Mystic Swordsman, one of the many babies of the level up archetype that, just like its ultimate insect brethren, got the shaft by Konami forgetting about their existence, and that's understandable considering it was one of the worst level monsters, along with the mimics, although they technically can be used as the world's worst upstart goblins due to their terrible and slow method of draw power. At least you don't get 3 of the motherfuckers on the field, otherwise we would have a real problem, and that real problem being a bunch of useless chests laying around. Getting back on track, Mystic Swordsman as a series is quite interesting in that it was a bridge between 2 generations of level up monster, and as such their level up mechanic, as it were, was quite interesting considering that the high level swordsman could be set but not normal summoned with those before it was still having their effects, even if a chain was skipped. E.g. starting with Armed Dragon level 5 still lets you Armed Dragon level 7 if you meet the conditions, but if you start with Allure Queen level 5, you don't get the effect until you go to Allure Queen level 7, essentially giving you nothing more than a 1000 attack level vanilla. I think I've dribbled on long enough about the level up archetype as a whole, so let's get into the monster, starting with Mystic Swordsman level 2. A level 2, big shock there, Earth Warrior, who has the following effect. At the start of the damage step, if this card attacked a face-down defense position monster, destroy that monster. During the end phase, if this card destroyed the monster by battle this turn, you can send this face-up card to the graveyard, special summon 1 Mystic Swordsman level 4 from your hand or deck. At first, you'd probably assume that this is an unsearchable piece of pack filler, but not only is this an improved version of Sasuke Samurai due to being able to go into a bigger body and having an attribute of some use, but it also has 2 indirect searches in the form of both Little Trooper and Reinforced Truth, which can search out level 2 warriors from the deck. Now these methods are slow, and the king of search and disguise still remains Dogu, reinforcement of the army, but there really is a surprising amount of ways to fetch this little shit, which is always nice. After a somewhat decent start, we get treated to its level 4 variation by the name of Mystic Swordsman level 4, who is a level 4 Earth Warrior with the same effect as Mystic Swordsman level 2, except for a bigger booty, a normal summoning restriction, why? And levels up until level 6 Mystic Swordsman. This card is much harder to search out in comparison to its level 2 brethren, but if you're high enough you could run the Speedroids engine to MX Saber Invoker this kid, but please, love yourself and think of the children. Are you really going to waste so many resources on a monster you can already easily get to? Yes? Well, you're a braver player than I. Go ham, you crazy bastard. The final card in this chain of bullshittery is called Mystic Swordsman level 6 with this effect. Cannot be normal summoned, but can be normal set. At the start of the damage step, if this card attacked a face-down defense position monster, destroy that monster, and if you do, you can place it on top of the opponent's deck instead of sending it to the graveyard. Now, this is a card I can get behind. Yeah, it takes a while to get to, and the setup is a bit of a pain, but this circumvents every floater imaginable, including the Yang Zing, who are the premier floaters in Yu-Gi-Oh! Not much else to say about this card, but I think it's fair to say this card pulls its weight, and is a worthy top-off to this level-up chain. Now, how can we give these guys support? Well, luckily for us, we already have an avenue of giving our Mystic Swordsman support in the form of the Silent Swordsmen and Silent Magicians, who got support about a year ago. You may think this isn't the best support possible, but on this show, we aim for a fun deck rather than a competitive one. The first piece of the puzzle they got was a monster that couldn't be normal summoned or set, and could only be special summoned by tributing a monster of the same type as them, gained 500 attack when a certain parameter relevant to the level up line was met, had an effect that related to its original monster lineup, and could special summon a member of its archetype from the deck other than itself upon its destruction by any means. With this in mind, we can formulaically create a support monster without it being overly convoluted or boring, since this is not only fun support to make, but the best way to keep it casual considering the support we're basing this on was just that. Support just potent enough to make them not die on impact and be playable and fun. Another thing the silent monsters got was a spell card in the form of their signature attack. They weren't as linked to their playstyle as their other support, however, they still had a recipe to follow. A. Give a boost to the monster, be it through stats or an effect that procs those stat gains. Be unstoppable upon activation, and be banishable from the graveyard in order to search a monster of its line from the deck. The final thing that the silent swordsmen and magicians got was a searcher that searched both silent variants, swordsman and magician, but for this example, we will keep it to mystic swordsman. The monster worked like so. Searched out their base forms, provided an effect related to its search targets, and added a level up monster of its attribute from the graveyard to the hand upon its destruction by any means. Mystic Swordsman is to the level up series that the Dual Tono series was to archetypes. It was very clunky, but due to it existing, it opened the doors for a large amount of new monsters that are still fun on a casual level to this day, such as Dark Lucius, even if there were some bad ones as well, such as Dark Mimic. Mystic Swordsman is important in this regard, and should at least be given a you done good son, you done good, as a pioneer to the rest of the level up archetype. Thank you for watching this video, and I hope you enjoyed it. Again, I'm sorry there hasn't been any uploads in a while. Delayed processes and schoolwork really do make a man worry and stress to the point of burnout. Next week will hopefully be the video I was working on, but if not, I'll be working on monks, and alongside an analysis on the evolution of protecting the castle archetypes. Have a good day, my friends, but for now, Ecolusian has left the building.